On today's episode of What I Saw versus What I Made, I saw the one you can see on the left hand side of the screen and on the right hand side, and I made the one you can see in the middle. So, if you're interested in learning how to go about this stylish wrap top with a symmetric hemline and a kimono sleeve, let me show you how. On my pattern paper, I already have a top line which will serve as my shoulder line. Now, from that line, you're going to go down to your waistline and then to the blouse length. So for the blouse length, you can do from your shoulder to your hip line, or better still, measure from your waistline down to your hip line. Let's say your hip line is usually 8 inches from your waistline, yeah? You're going to add 1 inch or even 2 inches to it, and you will see why later in this video. So here I'm marking from my shoulder to my waistline, then I'm going to go down to the blouse length, which I used 8 inches from my waistline. And I'm going to be marking these lines out first from my shoulder to my waistline, then from shoulder to the blouse length. Next, I'm going to come here on the shoulder line and mark my bust span measurement. That's your nipple to nipple. You're going to divide that into 2 and then you mark it here to create this space because you will need it for the wrap. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to be starting from the shoulder line and go down to my bust point line, and that will be my sleeve opening. If you're comfortable using your bust point line as your sleeve opening, just go ahead and mark it, or better still, just go down to your desired sleeve opening and mark the line out. Now I'll label this hip line, waistline, and then bust point line. On the shoulder line, I'll mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 7.5. Then from that point, I'm going to go out to my desired sleeve length, and I'm doing 6 inches. So from my shoulder measurement, which is 7.5, I marked 6 inches. So measuring from that sleeve length to this center line here, I have about 13.5. Then I'm going to come down here on the bust point line and minus 1 inch from what I have on the shoulder line. That's the shoulder measurement plus the sleeve all together. You're going to minus 1 inch from what you have on the shoulder line. Here I marked 12.5 because that is the value I have after minusing 1 inch from what I have on the measurements I have on the shoulder line. And connecting it, you can see that it is slanty. Now you can decide to go down to your chest line. If you want to, it's even unnecessary. It's not necessary at all because you can get your bust measurement on your bust point line. But here I marked my chest line, and on that point I'm going to mark my bust measurement divided by 4 plus extra 1 inch for ease. Yeah, this is not the sewing allowance, it's just an ease. You're going to add 1 inch to your bust measurement divided by 4. Then on the waistline, I'm going to mark my actual waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch is. Do you understand? Then coming to the hip line, I'm going to repeat the same thing. Mark my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch is. On this hip line, you can decide to do 1.5. Then I'm going to be connecting this measurement from the bust measurement to the waist measurement, then from the waist measurement to the hip measurement. And this is what it's looking like. Next, I'm going to place my curve like this and curve out this part from the sleeve width and blend it into the side seam line, just like this. Once I'm done with all of that, I'm going to come here on the waistline and go out to my actual bust span measurement. Mine is 3.75. Initially, I used 4 inches to mark out this space you're seeing here, but then I marked my actual bust span. Then here on the shoulder line, I'll go into my neck width of 3 inches. Then I'll go down here to 8 inches as my neck depth, or better still, you connect it from your neck width to your bust span you have on the waistline. Do you understand that? So I'm going to first connect from the neck width to the 8 inches neck depth, and then from the 8 inches neck depth to my bust span measurement. And then I'm going to take it from that point all the way down. But first, I'll have to go down here to 4 inches as the extension for that pointy part you see on the hem of the blouse. Then from the waistline here on the side seam, I'm going to come down to 6 inches. Then I'm going to connect from that 6 inches I have on the side seam to the 4 inches I went down from the hem of the blouse on the center part like this. Then I'm going to take it from here to this point this way. So you can decide to like go in 1 inch from the center point on the hem. That's exactly what I did, but yeah, that is not what you have on the thumbnail, but I wanted mine this way. At least I already showed you how you should go about it in case you don't want to do this part. So just leave your connection as you have it earlier before doing this part that I just did on the hemline. Then I'm going to be sloping the shoulder width 1.5 and connect it all the way to the center front this way. Do you understand? You can even come down 1 inch from your neck width and then connect the shoulder slope to that point so that it will tighten the neckline, because I actually forgot to tighten this neckline. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to cut out what we have here now, and after cutting it out, I'm going to show you the next thing to do. And yeah, we are going to be using this one pattern for both the front and back, and then for the symmetrical part of the blouse. And to do that, I'm going to be folding it on this 6 inches here. And to have it accurate, you can decide to just measure from on this center part here, the same 6 inches. But I will advise that you add 2 inches to it. If your measurement is the same with mine, instead of marking 6 inches, you go down 8 inches there, and then you fold it to that point, and it's going to be slanty. And yeah, the blouse won't be flying up when you wear it on the back. Then you also fold the bust span line. That's that wrap point. You're also going to fold it. And then this is the fabric I will be using. I'll fold it and place my pattern on it this way. Then make this part straight. This shoulder part, I'm going to make it straight like this. Then from that point, I will go down to 2 inches as my neck depth for this back. I'll curve it out like you see me do it here. And then once I'm done, I'm going to be adding my allowance on the side, on the top. Like every part, I need to add my allowance. The center back, we are cutting that on fold. It's not open. So yeah, I'm adding half inch on the sleeve width, and then half inch on the shoulder point here, 1 inch on the side, and then 0.75 on the hem. I like to add 0.75 on the hem of whatever I'm making. Yeah. So after that, I will open the pattern and place it like this on the fabric too. The fabric is also folded. But for this front piece, I'm not going to cut that on fold. It's going to be two pieces, but yeah, you can't even cut it on fold. Then I added my half-inch allowance all around, except on the side where I have 1 inch and on the hem where I have 0.75. After that, I'm going to cut it out like this. Then we open it up to do the other slanted part. That's like the symmetrical part of the hem. So after that, I'll open my pattern, take out my pattern this way, open up the fabric like you see me do it here, place it on each other. Just the right side of the fabric, you're going to place it in a way that the right side is facing up this way. And then you can decide to label left and right so that you know where you want to take out from. And here I chose to do it on the right hand side of the pattern. I went up 2.5. I was supposed to do 3 inches, but then I did 2.5 so that I will use the other half-inch for my sewing allowance. And then I'll blend it into the side and cut it out this way. Once I'm done, the next thing I'm going to be doing now is to just go ahead and cut out my lining for all the pieces already cut out, and my belt too. And after doing all of that, this is what we have. I have the belt, the for the two sides, yeah, and then I cut out the lining for both front and the back pattern. Now for this belt, my fabric only permitted me to cut it in pieces like this, but what I'll be doing is to join them like this with half-inch, and after joining, I'm going to just fold it like this right side, and then go ahead and sew with half-inch. I'll repeat the same thing on this other second belt. Just join it here, like join the two pieces and fold it like this and sew. Now for the main fabric, this one here is the front pieces. I have two pieces of the lining, two pieces of the fashion fabric. Yeah, that's it for the front. Then for the back, I have just two pieces, the fashion fabric and then the lining. And then my lining is about 1 inch shorter than the actual fabric like this. What I'm going to be doing now is to just go ahead and pin it down, because that's how I'll be sewing it. This is the front part here. I'll just pin it this way you see me pinning it down. That's exactly how I'm going to be sewing it. That part is like the neckline. So yeah, you're going to be sewing it straight there. And I'll be showing you how to go about this sewing so that it comes out neat. Then for this one, I'm going to be placing it right side to the right side. The lining doesn't have a right side, but yeah, just place your lining on the right side of the fabric. Then you're going to sew on the neckline with the added half-inch allowance. And after doing that, this is what I have. I've sewn the neckline for the back and then the neckline for the front too. And I've even finished up one side of the front. But I'll be showing you how to go about it. So basically, I've sewn the neckline for the back and the hem too. And then the neckline for the other side of the front and the hem too. No, I'll be showing you how to go about the front. But then the belt, this is what I did with the ending part of the belt. So yeah, the next thing I'll be doing now is to just place this like this. I've sewn the neckline. I have the shoulder line still open and the side too open, the sleeve width open. I've only sewn the neckline. So yeah, you're going to trim out the line in here in a way that is going to be about 0.25 shorter than the actual fabric now. Do you understand? So after sewing the neckline and top stitching, you're now going to trim out the lining. It will be easier for you to do it that way. Then you are going to sew here on the hem, and after sewing, you arrange it and sew this part. Do you understand? After that too, you are going to sew this side, which we already trimmed the lining. So basically sew every part except the shoulders side. That's why you'll be joining to the other shoulder. So yeah, after doing that, this is what I have. I'm going to bring in the front pattern, place them on each other this way, just the same way it's going to come out afterwards. And then you're going to place the back part on it this way. I'm yet to sew the side for the back because yeah, I want to show you how to finish up the shoulder in a neat way. So you're going to use the back that you're yet to turn out this way, flip the lining over and use it to turn the shoulder, just as you can see me do it here. At this point, go ahead and arrange it. Once you hold it firmly like this, you're going to pin it down so that it won't shift, and then after sewing, you will see that it's not sitting right. You're going to sew it half inch, repeat the same thing on the other side, and after that, you're going to have something like this, and you're going to be trimming. There will be excess lining on the side. Just go ahead and trim it. You're not trimming with the fabric, just the excess tiny lining that you can see on the side. And this is what the neckline is looking like. After ironing it, everything will sit well. Now you're going to turn it like you see me doing it. This part is very important. That's the whole essence of doing this finishing. Then like we did for the front part, you're also going to trim out your lining about half inch or 0.375. Then you're going to sew here. You can feel the front part of the sleeve. Yeah, just go ahead and use it to trace out where you're going to sew. Just sew very close but not on top of it. And after sewing, you're going to have something like this, and then you're going to trim off the excess allowance and also trim it out on this part you see me do it. Then you're going to repeat the same thing here too. And yeah, you're going to have something like this and something as neat as this afterwards. Can you see that? Now we can go ahead and finish up the side. You're going to flip everything inside the back part, and then you arrange it properly and sew it on the side with your half inch. Then when you get to this end, you're going to like stop stitching there, and then you leave about 3 inches space before you start stitching again. Basically, just as I marked it here, go ahead and repeat the same thing. Enough for you to turn it out to the right side afterwards. We are going for this kind of finishing, yeah. So after sewing, this is what I have, and I'm going to be turning it out with that 3 inches space I left. And after turning it out, it's going to look like this. It's going to be rumpled, yeah. But you're going to iron it, and your dress is going to come out neat. So yeah, you are going to be ironing, and then after ironing, you're going to use your hemming gum to close this part that we left open earlier, so that it will just blend in and you won't even know that you left that part open. Then I'm going to be bringing in my belt, which I already turned out and I ironed it out neatly. I'm going to place it like this from the waistline upwards. Can you see that? You're placing your belt from your actual waistline upwards. And or you can decide to place it in the middle, but yeah, it will blend in better if you do it this way. You stitch it down, then you're going to be closing the side of this blouse. That's pretty much about it though. Just go ahead and arrange it properly. If you need to redo your measurements, if you added excess allowance, go ahead and redo your measurement. But for me, since I added just 1 inch to my pattern to the as my allowance on the side, I'm only going to sew with half inch because I've used the other half inch to turn out the blouse. Do you understand? But this is not the ease. That same 1 inch I added while transferring the pattern to the fabric. That's what you're going to use to sew now. And for me, I have half inch left, and that's what I'm marking here, and I'm going to mark it from the top all the way to the down. Go ahead and close it, iron it smoothly to have something like this. You see that this came out so well. And then you're going to arrange your blouse like you see mine here. Just make sure that after arranging it, that it's overlapping with the same bus span that you use to create the wrap. Do you understand? If you need to measure, go ahead and measure. I'm measuring mine. I have exactly 7.5, which is the 3.75 that I added as my wrap extension. Now we are going to be doing the button, and for the button, it totally depends on what you have. You can decide to use a cover button, and I recommend size 36. Yeah, that is not too small and not too big. Then you're going to arrange it. You can decide to wear it. It's even better if you can wear this before, as in mark where you want to fix the button. But yeah, mine is like this, is arranged well on the table. So I'm going to like add something like elastic on this part that you see me here, then place my button here and sew it. But if you don't have a cover button and it's a fancy button that you have, just go ahead and use it. Use this size. It's better to use this size than the small size. And you can see that this fancy button can even go if I decide to work with it. But yeah, you're going to add a loop. Then you fix your button and the loop will hold the button. Then for the other wrap part inside, you can decide to use your press button or use hook and eye, but I don't recommend that you do anything there, especially if you do not use a cotton lining, because yeah, I tried it and I had to remove it. It was not useful. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it.